Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, time for Wisdom Wednesday. I thought I would revisit something that I think we probably ought to do every year as we approach the holidays, and that is how to continue to create health and stay healthy in the midst of sugar season, which we're in the midst of at this point. We've got Thanksgiving coming up very soon, and then the Christmas and New Year holidays, which leads into the new year, and then really it doesn't end until after Easter. But for the next 6 to 8 weeks, we really need to kind of rein it in and have a game plan for how to get through the holidays and remain healthy and continue to stay healthy, because this is also cold and flu season. And because of that, and because generally lifestyle approaches tend to fall off a bit during this time period in terms of really staying on task with exercise and nutrition, this then sets us up, particularly if you tend to be prone to catching these viruses, it just sets us up for a significant amount of disease and increasing inflammation, which then kind of down regulates our immune system. So let's look at ways that we can really optimize our health, continue to be able to create health and stay healthy through the holidays. And of course, we're just going to walk through all the things that we've talked about in the past, but maybe at least be mindful so that the days that we do make a mindful decision to just go off program and enjoy the day, but we get right back on it, and that we can survive that without too much of a major issue in terms of our health overall. So of course we know that movement is always going to be better during, as far as our health is concerned and as far as our immune system is concerned. What we know is that, we tend to just not move as much, we tend to lose muscle, we tend to just not stay on task as far as our exercise is concerned. And this is quite vital. What we know is that even just walking 2 to 5 minutes after a meal, you can lower your blood sugar by 9%. That's huge. And by doing even 150 minutes, which is barely over 20 minutes a day, you can reduce all-cause mortality by 33%, 150 minutes a week. So I think that should be a major goal that we really stick to during these next few weeks and into the next few months, as far as just maintaining good health as far as movement is concerned. This has nothing to do with weight. This just really has to do with utilization of energy and creating more and maintaining more muscle, which is just really our currency of health, is having good muscle tone. So just sticking with that, and a good balance of exercise, doing cardio, doing strength training, doing some type of breathing work such as yoga, Pilates, stretching, all of these things have great value in terms of just maintaining health and keeping our immune system in good working order. Of course, as far as diet is concerned, we need to make sure that we are very cognizant of how we choose to eat our foods. We've talked a lot about intermittent fasting. Perhaps you can do a little bit more fasting on days that you've got big events coming up, and you can utilize that just one meal, trying to get as much in prior to that. If you want to, prior to meals, do a little bit more fiber, drink a glass of water with fiber and follow it with another glass of water, which will help reduce appetite perhaps, and help you just kind of control that during big parties or any type of events that you may be attending. So that can be really helpful. Trying to drink more water in between alcohol, and that can be helpful. Trying to limit alcohol after, say, 7 p.m. That's not always feasible with some of the events that are out there, but trying to limit that as best you can, because that definitely disrupts your sleep. So, and we've talked about when you eat your food, trying to start with fiber first and then your protein and fats, and reserving any carbohydrates or sugars toward the end of the meal. We're just trying to blunt the insulin response. That's what walking after the meal does. That's what trying to approach your plate in a way that is going to blunt the insulin response, which continues to help us be healthier and help perhaps lower inflammation in addition to that. It's really important to try to keep these things in mind so that we can keep our immune system on alert for all the things that can come during the winter months. The other thing is, we've talked a lot about sleep, trying to optimize your sleep. There may be disruptions in terms of travel or people coming in and a few late nights here and there, but for the most part, trying to stay on task with optimizing your sleep, getting to sleep, staying asleep. And if you're struggling with that, we've talked a lot about ways to limit light and maybe wearing a mask, doing different things to make sure that you can sleep through the night. We've done many talks on that, doing your melatonin, GABA, L-theanine, things that help calm the brain. Things can really get bolstered up, and when you do have more sugar or alcohol at night, it keeps the brain a little bit engaged. You want to limit caffeine if that's a problem for you later in the evenings, and restrict that to earlier in the day. That may be helpful as well, and that includes chocolate. There's can be a lot of caffeine in some of the chocolate things as well, so be mindful of that. And then, of course, limiting stress and monitoring your mood. We know that stress can be a huge problem as far as overall health is concerned. It really can degrade so many things that are underneath the surface in the body. It can disrupt hormone balances. It can disrupt a lot of neurotransmitters. So many people find that this is a time of difficulty with the holidays in general. May just be a sad season for some folks. We know that because the days are shorter and there's more darkness, the seasonal affective disorder can come on and be an issue. So even if you're on an antidepressant or a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, something like that, you may find that just adding a little 5-HTP and tyrosine, which helped to raise serotonin and dopamine, those can be really beneficial. You can start with 50 milligrams of 5-HTP to 100 milligrams of 5-HTP to anywhere from 500 to 1,000 milligrams of tyrosine. And both of those help to balance the serotonin as well as dopamine. You don't want to just do one or the other. You want to try to do both at the same time. And in order to help also make these neurotransmitters, B vitamins, particularly B6 in the P5P form, is the pyridoxine 5-phosphate form, is much more preferable and can be helpful, especially if you're taking your methylated B12 and methylfolate. That can be helpful as well. But B6 in particular, because it's a cofactor in making a lot of these neurotransmitters. So optimizing sleep, managing your stress, helping with mood so that you can maintain energy. And then of course, just keeping all your other hormones balanced, maintaining your good hormonal program, but also thinking about gut hormones and your satiety hormones and your hormones that drive hunger, trying to keep those well balanced. And that's, again, keeping your meals very time restricted, limiting snacking, and just being forward thinking. Look at your week ahead and try to just determine when you're going to make those mindful decisions, if you do so, to get off balance a little bit and then get right back on things. There are just things that come up, and we know you've got to live in the real world. So it's a good 80-20, 90-10 way of looking and approaching the week. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about just getting more benefit and just progress. So try to look forward to these holidays with great anticipations. I know we're looking forward to it in our home because we have our first grandbaby coming, so we're so excited about that. And as a result, we'll be doing a little more travel ourselves. And so I intend to really make sure I optimize my sleep, I monitor my workouts, and really work on those areas that are stressful for me. Travel sometimes can be stressful, and I know the excitement of having a new life come into the family is going to be great. So anyway, I wish you all the best. You all have a great week, and we'll touch on more next week.